Fire crews are working to slow the spread of this wildfire that's burning in a remote part of Dorado County. The Crozier Fire posing a significant challenge right now to firefighters.
There are the latest numbers on this fire right now. It's now burned nearly 1,200 acres. Containment is at 5%. We don't have any reports of damage, but right now the communities of Garden Valley, Georgetown, Volcanoville, Mosquito, and the Swansboro areas are under mandatory evacuation orders. This started yesterday morning in the Mosquito and Swansboro area, just north of Placerville and Highway 50. And it's been another long, exhausting day for firefighters. Thanks for joining us at 5. I'm Lisa Gonzalez.
I'm Golston Dart. Firefighters have more going on with this. KCRA 3's Orko Manna is live from the south end of the Crozier Fire, just east of Swansboro County Airport. So, Orko, you're learning more now about the main challenges in fighting this fire.
Yeah, Golston, the biggest issue right now is access. The Crozier Fire is burning in a remote area, very remote back there. You can see the smoke coming off of the fire right there. And we do know from fire crews that we have seen several aircraft come here and douse water and retardant on the fire here. Again, consistent water drops out here. Fire officials tell me that it's hard to get a lot of ground crews close to the flames, so they're relying a lot on their air attack. And even just a few minutes ago, we saw a helicopter come there and kind of disappear through the smoke. We're on the south end of the fire, as you said, and this is a staging area where there are hand crews as well trying to get a handle from the fire on the ground. But as I mentioned, we have seen several aircraft throughout the day consistently doing water drops and retardant drops on the fire. The Crozier Fire has grown significantly in size over the last 24 hours. Fire crews tell us the low humidity last night allowed the fire to stay very active overnight and into today. But like I said, the biggest issue right now is really access for fire crews. The extremely narrow roads and overgrown vegetation is making it tough to get through. That's another reason why officials are asking people to follow evacuation orders and warnings. One woman who just evacuated says she already lost her home in Grizzly Flats to the Caldor fire. She wants her community to be safe.
My heart and my prayers are with everybody out there. Just get out, save yourself, the heck with the stuff, it's all replaceable. You know, you can't grab everything. I evacuated at 2 o'clock in the morning the night before last.
Part of the evacuation order is to be able to clear those roads from fleeing citizens, because that's going to hamper the suppression efforts if the roads get clogged up. And that being one of the big issues on this fire, the access, we want to have everybody out so we can go in and do our job.
And again, back out here live, you can see another helicopter there with a bucket. Again, we're seeing a lot of these aircraft kind of being flown into the fire area to douse more water and also retardant on the fire. And fire crews say that they're using dozers to try to get some of that better access on those windy and narrow roads. They are waiting for more resources to arrive here, and with those low containment numbers, as we saw, fire crews definitely have their work cut out for them. Reporting live from Dorado County tonight, Orko Manna, KCRA 3 News.
Okay, so Orko, we know the evacuations are going on right now. What are you hearing from firefighters about any threats to any other homes out there?
Well, like I mentioned, we are on the south end of the fire, and fire officials tell me, we just spoke to them about 30 minutes ago, that the bulk of the major flames are heading in kind of the northeast direction of the fire, so in that direction. And the good news is that a lot of the homes and residences are not in that area or in that direction, but fire crews say that they want everyone to still follow those evacuation orders and warnings because things could change. But as of right now, the fire is not immediately threatening a lot of the structures in the area.
All right, obviously we'll keep monitoring that along with you, Orko. Thank you.
And a big impact on the Crozier Fire has been the smoke. Take a look at this time-lapse video of all that thick smoke. This is from a camera just north of I-80 at Cisco Grove, and you can see that thick smoke plume. It's drifting into Soda Springs and the Truckee area. And KCRA 3's Heather Waldman, our meteorologist Heather Waldman, has the latest on the fire and, of course, the impact to our air quality. Heather?
Yeah, and of course, this fire has grown about 1,000 acres in the last 24 hours, and it's burning in some really dense fuels that is releasing a lot of smoke. You can see it here on our satellite image. A lot of this smoke anywhere from 5 to 10,000 feet above the surface, so air quality in most of Placer and El Dorado counties is just fine. It's once you get up to the north shore of Lake Tahoe, up into the Truckee area, that's where these red dots are indicating that unhealthy air quality index value. We've even seen some AQI values around the hazardous range, the kind of thing where you definitely don't want to be outside for extended periods of time. Also keeping an eye on the San Joaquin Valley into parts of the East Bay. We've seen air quality readings there in that unhealthy range most of the day. Unclear exactly what that's from, whether that may have been some smoke that drifted down the hill last night and it's kind of lingering. But either way, we should get a delta breeze here over the next couple of days that'll help to clear that out. So this is what the fire's footprint looked like at 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. The yellow area represents how it's grown as of 2 o'clock this afternoon. And as Orko was mentioning, wind not a huge factor, but the breeze that we do have is carrying the fire and the flames away from major communities along Highway 50. So some good news there. Back to you.